said, after you talk, now I'm over here having my own church by myself. No, you gotta speak. You gotta speak, sweetie. You gotta speak. My cup runneth over. Surely, y'all know I've come with it. It's been years. Y'all remember that? Surely, come up my cut up my high. Surely, goodness and mercy. I wonder if there's a reason why there's to these pivotal songs. There are 6 verses. The Psalm 23, Psalm 150, Psalm 1. Right? These pivotal songs. There's certain pivotal songs inside the book of songs that have 6 verses. Right? And so it's 3 and 3, or it's surely. It's about 3 and 3, or surely. Goodness and mercy. Surely, goodness and mercy. Oh, surely. Selah. This sheep is armored up with a broke foot. And so we talk about God's righteousness. We talk about the truth of God. We talk about the love of God. Right? We don't really have love from God and feel the love of God if we do not have truth, because we tell the truth. The truth is a component, or a brother, a hand-to-hand brother of love, right? So if I have love, I have the truth. We have goodness and mercy in this last scripture, right? The sheep is armored up. Surely goodness and mercy shall follow me. I'm armored up going forward with a broke foot, because I know now. I look down at my foot. I know if I see something I want to wander over there, I look down. I know not to go over there. I know when I look down at my foot, I know don't go over there. When I look at my shadow, I know there is no valley of the shadow of darkness. So I look at, you understand? If I look back and see goodness behind me, follow me, I know mercy is with it. I know surely goodness and mercy shall follow me all the days of my life, and I will dwell. Surely, goodness and mercy, and I will dwell in the house of the Lord forever. Forever and ever and ever and ever. Unending, never stopping. Ever and ever. Right? Surely, I will dwell. Surely we shall dwell. Takes you to Psalm 91. He that dwells in the secret place of the Most High shall abide under the shadow of the Almighty. The shadow of the Almighty. So the Almighty has a shadow that we abide in, but fear has no shadow. Why does fear have no shadow? Because fear does not exist. False evidence, appearing real. Just because something appears real doesn't mean it is. Jesus appeared as an apparition on the water, and they thought that he was a ghost because he appeared that way to them. But if you see light, right? He's light. If you see light walking on the water, you don't think it's a ghost. However, just because they thought that does not mean that he was that. He was not that. He was Jesus. He that dwells in the secret place of the Most High shall abide in the shadow of the Almighty. I gotta say something. I will say of the Lord, he is my refuge, my fortress, my God. In him will I trust. Surely he shall deliver me from the snare of the fowler and from the noisome pestilence. Here's what David wraps up both Psalm 91 and Psalm 23 with a surely. And I want to encourage you to bring a surely into your life. Find a surely. Go outside, scream surely, and see if anybody walks up to the door. Make her pray with you. But wrap up those songs, wrap up your praise with a surely. Surely he shall deliver me. Surely he got my back. Surely he's going to help me. Surely he's Elohim. Surely he's El Shaddai. Surely he is El Elyon. Surely he is Adonai. Surely he is Yahweh. Surely he is Jehovah Jireh. Surely he is Jehovah Rapha. Surely he is Jehovah Nisi. Surely he is Jehovah Mekadesh. Surely he is Jehovah Shalom, my peace. Surely he is Jehovah Sikkenu, my righteousness. Surely he is Jehovah Roah. Surely he is Shammah, the God who's more than enough. Surely God's not telling you to base your lack of fear inside of that valley on yourself. God's telling you to base your lack of fear of that valley on him. It's odd because while my pastor was there, I was so nervous, and he doesn't know this. I was nervous because he was there, because I wanted to impress him so much, and also I'd never spoken in front of him. I wanted to speak but encourage him, because he always speaks, and every single time he encourages me. There's never been a time that he does not. He just say, Jamie, come here. Oh, I'm encouraged. Hey, Papa, coming in. I'm encouraged. I'm telling you, the man is encouraging. He's gentle, he's kind, he's loving. I want to serve him. I want to give him something that he always gives us. And I got my opportunity. I thought I would never get an opportunity. I mean, there's people in my church that have talents and they have that gifts, and I'm just not that person. I mean, and they're amazing. Like, Kathy Clapper can build a set, like a whole monster movie set. She's crazy. D. Henry can paint. Like, man, come on, stop that thing. She can paint. I can't paint. I told the man I picked up a paintbrush for the first time 5 years ago, and then I put it down. I cannot paint. I shake. I told David Lewis' grandfather, I was like, I shake. He was like, I shake too. So he started doing stained glass, and I started doing clay. I shake. These people are surrounded by these gifts and these talents, but the gifts and callings of God come without repentance. I have not been blessed by it like that. So what I could give, I got to give my pastor something today that I don't think will ever happen again. And that breaks my heart. I want to do it again. It was one reason why I was so mad yesterday. I wanted him to be there. I wanted him to preach on Psalm 1. And I wanted him to see my art. I wanted to show him. But that's not what happened. Do I believe what happened for a reason? Yes. Because something that was inside of me was torn out. A part of my aspen, right, was torn out of me as a result of it. And I thank God for that. Keep tearing away, Pastor David. Keep tearing. Rip me apart. I want to stand on my head. I do. I'm just being honest. As a kid, I was like, why do I want him to scream at me? I literally want him to beat me. Why do I want him to do that? She was like, because that's all that makes sense to you. Truth. Surely, I want God to be pleased and my pastor and his wife to be proud. That's it. I don't want 7 birthday parties. This is what I want for Christmas. Like, this is what forever. I don't want anything else. I don't need anything else. God gives me everything I need. Jenny, you want shoes? No. I get everything I need. As a matter of fact, I'm going to tell y'all something. I had to buy sneakers. I had to buy shoes. I buy these Roxy shoes, and I found a way to get them not so expensive. So I buy these Roxy shoes, and I ended up with 2 pairs of sneakers. I ended up with 2 pairs of sneakers. I got extra sneakers that I don't need, that I found somebody to give them to. Or find a way to just, I guess, keep them and do something with them. Maybe I'll make art out of them. I don't know. But I don't need anything else. I need him and her to be proud, and I need God to be pleased. That's it. That's all. I'm not looking for anything from anybody else. And if he's not proud, then yes, I'm angry and have unmet expectations. It's hard to say. I don't know why he ended up in Hagerstown, or ended up in, I think it was in Pennsylvania, but it's hard to say why he ended up there. But for me, I feel like God just saw that I was just terrible and in a terrible place. I have over 35 autoimmunes in my body. Kurt counted them with me. Terrible place. And maybe God had mercy on me, because I did not have to have a pastor like this. I'm so blessed and fortunate. My whole church is blessed. We are all so blessed to have him and his family, his wife there. We're so blessed. We're so blessed to have Pastor Trent. He's amazing with kids. I just got finished talking to him a couple of minutes ago. We're so blessed to have him. He's so amazing. Him and Miss Katie. He was like, I'm so sorry I had to miss the event. And I sent him a picture. What he doesn't understand is I was not mad at him. I sent him a picture that I cherish with my heart. I sent them the picture that they snapped. They snapped a picture of themselves at the gallery across the street when I was showing there. I had 50 paintings in that gallery last year. As he snapped a picture of himself and Miss Katie in that picture, in that gallery. And I posted that. He was like, I'm so sorry I can't make it. I was like, but you made it to this one. David Lewis, we are blessed to have him. David's a prodigy. We are blessed to have him. He's amazing. Pastor Tim is just, he's an evangelist. He's just an evangelist of the earth. Like, I think if he went swimming, he would dive down and start preaching to the fish and start trying to win the fish and tell them what Tri-State Fellowship is. 13153 Steer Falls Pike, in case you were wondering. Okay. Pastor Aditya is just like, he's almost the pastor that's in hiding, but seen. Very much so seen. When you want to see him, you see him. But he doesn't need to be ostentatious. He doesn't need to be seen. Pastor, all our Davids are like that. They don't need to be ostentatious. They don't need to be seen. But he especially is like that. If you look for him, you will see him off in the corner, Miss Dana somewhere. He'll have a big smile on his face. And when I was upset, I missed and forgot, because I wanted my dad figure to see my artwork and to preach the sermon on my artwork, and I forgot to see my pastors. How dare I? How dare I have these expectations? Expecting something. My pastor does not have to set up a place for art. He does that because he wants to. And he wants to give people a chance to glorify God. How dare I come in there and make demands? I told him, I said, don't forget, I messed up. Yeah, okay, Chamber of Commerce, it was fun, it was awesome, and I had a great time. Don't forget, because I haven't forgotten. I was upset while I was there, and when I got up to speak, I was upset then. I have not forgotten what I did, and I will not forget. For every break in my legs, I will not forget. I will hold on to it. That scar reminds me. The deal was I had to clean the entire house. When I came home from school, I could not talk after 4 o'clock because that's when she got off work. So she would come in, she would box my side, box me, keep punching me until I fell, right? And then she would dig her nails to my shoulders and rip me up and make me get up and stand up and tell her that I love her and how much I love her and how much I appreciate her. And I would have to hug her, and she said, hug me tighter, right now. She would get the broom, whatever, right? So then I had to clean the entire house, make her dinner, serve her food while she's sitting down, clean the entire house, and then I could get up at 4 o'clock in the morning and do my own homework. One night I forgot to take the garbage out. I cleaned the house, but I forgot to take the garbage out. So she took my head and slammed it into the metal bolt lock, You know you guys have the bolt lock on your back doors? It's a really powerful lock. Turn that lock, that knob. She slammed my head into that lock. I had a knot the size of my knuckle on my head. So she laughed and was called me Knucklehead because it was bleeding too. She said, I bet you'll never forget to take down the garbage ever again. And I've never forgotten since. My older sister pulled me into the bathroom. She's like, come here, Jamie. Pulled me into the bathroom and took a rag and was kind of like gently like dabbing with cold water, knot. And so my mother must have felt bad, so she came in the bathroom. Gosh, I know you have things to do. Go do your thing. She took the cloth from my sister and pushed it on it so hard, like she was pressing a pimple. Like she was popping a pimple. It was not a pimple. You gave me a hickey on my head. It was not a pimple. But I never forgot to take the garbage down again. Break my legs, please. I will never, ever.
But if you know these men were crazy enough to come in, bang on your door, and they wanted to rape the men inside the house, I don't care if you wanted to offer your daughters as a living sacrifice to these men, they would have been dead us before the night hit. They would have been dead us before day's end. Those men were ravenously hungry, and they were in wilderness, right? Jesus was in the wilderness, and he's offered the option of turning stones into bread. Satan could take none from Jesus, just like he can't take none from you. He's stupid. He don't have nothing new. He don't do nothing new. The power of suggestion is powerful and mighty in Satan's mouth. All he does is suggest to you, why don't you do this thing? And I kind of realized now, I kind of messed up. I did something. Because I realized it was a suggestion and I followed it. It's easy to follow suggestions because you make sense of suggestions when you want the thing behind it. Your desire is for that thing. But if God says don't do it, don't touch it. Say I rebuke you in the name of Jesus. And God, I confess. Me too. I fell into the trap as well. I will out myself in a minute. Because I confess, I fell into the trap. Why did I fall into the trap? Because my desire sits there before me at the tree. I don't think that God ever asked us to meet him at the tree. I think he stopped doing that when he asked Abraham, hey, listen, your daughter, your wife's gonna have a kid. Here's the thing. But she got a kid. About the time of life, about the time I'm set to come back here. He had a meeting with Abraham at the tree. The terebinth tree. I don't know what the terebinth is, but he set a meeting. God set a meeting. I don't know where God sets a meeting. Hold on! I don't know where God sets a meeting in the Word of God with anybody, but he did it with Abraham. He said, meet me at the tree next year. Meet me at the tree. It had to be next year. Why? Because Sarah would be pregnant, or Sarah would have a baby at that time. He said, about the time of her life, when I return here. When I return here. He heard the desire. See, here's the thing. We are standing at the tree, and you are not the tree. You'll hear the desire of your heart being fulfilled, but you'll never hear about the meeting. He heard it, but he never asked what time are you going, what day and what time are you going to meet me here, God. And here's the thing, the terebinth trees were right outside the tent. How do we know? Because it was sitting at the terebinth trees, and he said, about this time next year, your wife will have a baby in her arms. About this time next year, your wife will have a baby in her arms. Sarah was inside of their tent, heard it, and laughed. Aren't I too old for this pleasure? Right, she said that inside of her spirit. And sitting at the terebinth trees, Jesus said to them, he said, why did Sarah laugh? She said from the tree, from the tent, she said, I did not laugh. He said, yes, you did. And so they had a conversation from tent to tree. Talking to God from tent to tree, because Abraham had not become the tree. You're talking to God and you have a conversation from tent to tree. You are talking to Sarah inside of the tent. Why wasn't Sarah outside? I understand that things have to be cooked, but they sat down and ate. They sat down and had a meal. You know, you and somebody have a meal. The person cooking the food should come outside. It's always weird when I go to churches, and I know there's people back there cooking food. And I went to this Carol's house, and there was a woman in her kitchen cooking food. I know because I offered to help, and she let me help and do a couple things. But she never came outside to eat with us. There's something about you when you will cook the food, prepare the meal, prepare the crackers and the juice, but you will not commune with me. But I need to see some communion with you. I need to commune. And the onion of the commune, I need to see some yum with you. But I need to get some yum. If I can't get some commune, give me some yum with you. If I can't have communion, if I can't have some communion with you, let me get some yum, and we'll find some commune later on. But she never came out. She never came out of the kitchen. Why did Sarah not come out and sit with them and eat? You can't say that it was a policy, because policy had not been written. My thing is, do you want God or not? Could it be that's why she stayed a princess her entire life, and died a princess instead of being elevated to a queen? I'm a queen, and I keep saying it. I told Pastor, he said, I said, thank you. He said, you know you're a queen? I said, yeah, I know I'm a queen. I've been telling people that for a while now. I looked at her and I was like, for a while, right? I'm telling you that for a while. I'm a queen. I tell you, but I don't have to convince you. And I'm telling people a lot now. I just walk down the street. That's a clear sign that I'm a queen. Why? Because I believe in. Excuse me for 1 second. I win. And I'm a queen. Oh no, I've written all over my face. It's written all over your face. You don't have to say a word. Who's the 90s teenager? Just smile, just smile, just smile, just smile for me. It's better than any word I've ever heard. Everything sounds like that. Jodeci, the barbecue chicken. Maybe I'm hungry. Here's the thing. You don't have to say a word. Just smile. Just smile. You have to train them to smile. The song says that you don't have to say a word to me. Just smile for me and I will know it. Hallelujah. He's restoring you, restoring situations right now. He will restore it. Fix it. Keep your mouth shut and sit still. She was standing in a tent. She was either like whatever she was doing, she was done with it by the time they started eating. They were eating. They made some food. Abraham had some food. Abraham got word for Sarah, but Sarah never got it. Sarah stayed a princess, right? But the woman with the issue of blood became daughter. Why? You had Jesus sitting right there. That's why Abraham was named father. And Sarah was named princess, right? Because here's the thing: father goes with wife, father goes with mother, or princess goes with a prince, right? I said, why does Sarah never become a queen? Why does Sarah never become mother? She should have become mother. And even her barren state, it would have been really cool if Jesus told her, hey, you barren, but you're going to be mother. Watch this, because I'm going to do that thing. Instead of that thing, instead of him doing that, he called that she's known as princess. Why? Because she stayed in the tent. when you have a princess, generally back then they would keep princesses up. That's my contention. Generally princesses were kept up. They were kept women. They were women and they were kept up. However, you expect to become a queen, you gotta grow into a queen. When do I ask that now, say even in England, when do they grow into queens? Like when is my plant to go from princess to queen? You got princesses in England now, right? They got princesses in different parts of the land, right? But they still go by not democracy, but not theocracy, but a kingdomocracy. I don't know. There's nothing for me to keep my house together. But they go by that, whatever that is. So if you go by that, you'll go as a princess. Once she's princess till she's 14, until she hit puberty, and then she becomes a queen. Either way, none of my business. I walk around this world and I am a queen in it. People see me and they don't say that to me unless I talk to you. What's that girl with the crazy hair? And it's a Demise and it's Kendra. She said, don't come for me unless I come for you. Kendra's a queen. Whether you want to realize it, admit it or not, she is a queen. Does she sometimes often come out looking like a drag queen? Yes. Why? Because she's out there loud and proud and loud and all outside. She is a queen though. There's nothing that will separate her from her mind. She did that twirl, right? There was a twirl, spinning, twirl. She owns herself and she owns it. We were sitting in Bible study on Sunday and I said, you could say anything to me, it would not matter. Because you will not shake me off of the grounds that I stand on. I said, I believe in myself. And we started talking about other things in the Bible study in the class. And she looked at me, she said, Jamie, I'm using something tip. I said, okay. She said, you talk a lot. I said, yep, that's true. And everybody cracked up. She got thrown. She said, Jamie, you threw me off. Because I'm supposed to get sad about it. I'm supposed to get sad because she said I talk a lot. Why? I do. That's what I want to sing. That's why God, this is my gift. I do talk a lot. I got a big mouth. Okay? And I got a big mouth. You call it a curse, I call it a blessing. That's one of my queenliness. I am set to teach. I am set to teach those that are young, those that are princesses how to be queens. I got a lot to say, and therefore it's bubbling up inside of me. Now if you can't handle it, close your ears and walk away. I'm still, after the end of the day, I'm still a queen. I'm still a queen. And I'm not asking you to coronate me. I'm not asking you to coronate me. You have no coronation for me, do you? Even if you do, you need to take it and coronate yourself with it first to see if it weighs anything, if it sticks to you, or if it's oil in a cruise. Because I'm not going on your cruise with you. Ship, I'm not cruising with you. Hallelujah, I'm not going with you. I'm not I don't wait for your coronation, anything you got. And I said, he was talking to her from the ground. She was in the tent. She was put up. The son of God was talking to Father Abraham, right? They made that connection just a little bit, right? The son of God was talking to Father Abraham, and he called Sarah a princess from the grounds. I believe that all the stuff that happened in between her getting pregnant and giving birth that shook her, that scared her, right? Her insecurity was based on the fact that she never saw Jesus. She just spoke to him from the tent. Do you know who Jesus is, or have you tempted him? I am attentive to him. I have paid attention to what you're saying, Jamie. And if my attention, I give attention to the throne of grace. And at the end of the day, I am not trying to be anybody but grace. I'm a priest. Hallelujah, I'm a priestess. That's what God said. That's why we are a royal priesthood. So I'm a priestess. You should be at least a priestess, a queen, but you should never be left at a princess. If you die a prince, I have a problem with you. If you die a prince, Joseph died a prince. Everybody worships Joseph. I don't. I don't have a problem with Joseph. I just think that he was supposed to go higher, and instead of him, he went for the place, staying in the place where there was gold, instead of going back where there was sand. He brought his family out of the promised land and brought them to a land that was not flowing with milk and honey, because God said that the land land that they were all would be flowing with milk and honey. He brought his family out of it. They lived in Egypt, became slaves. I don't care what you say. That was because of the fact that they worshipped what they saw. Joseph, look, I got this ring. I married this Pharaoh. Look, I got all these things around me. And as a result of it, I bring you away from where God says you should be. 400 years later, they would say that the grapes were so big that 2 men had to carry them. They had grapes, but Joseph brought them to Goshen to feel slavery first. Because Joseph wanted them around him. So he married the Pharaoh, got in his bed, he became a kept man. Why? Because he was inside of a Pharaoh's storehouse, slave house, and he had Joseph create a slave trade within it. When you're on the enemy's land, when you're on the enemy's turf, even the good things that you do will be birthed and called nasty. You're on the enemy's turf. You're in Egypt. And you take your mindset for storehouses to him, and he creates slave houses out of it. Not he, it's not the Pharaoh himself, Egypt. Egypt was not the land of slavery, right? Was a land of slavery, was a mindset that said, let's go to where God told us to go, but wait, it's a famine here, we don't like it, let's go to Egypt, buy some stuff, and then stay there. God never told you to stay in Egypt. He said, you may have got permission to go there, buy some stuff, and then go back to where you were stationed at, because God told Jacob when he was in Laban land to go back, go to Canaan and live there. He did not tell him, even if when your son comes to call you, go find Joseph. You hear about God telling Jacob to go back to Canaan. You don't hear nothing about God telling Jacob and his family to go relocate to Joseph land, to slavery land. Pharaoh put that ring on Joseph and married Joseph. He said, will you marry me? Basically, will you stay and run my storehouses? Will you marry me? And Joseph, without accepting, without asking God, without finding out what God thought about it, Joseph then at that time said, I accept your ring. Could that be where people have started making the confines of marriage and twisting it, right? Because in marriage, you say, will you marry me? You get down on your all fours. Will you marry me? She says yes. You put the ring on her finger, and all of a sudden you're in the dress. But here's the thing, because it's a picture, because Joseph did the same thing, didn't he? He said, Joseph, will you stay here and run my storehouses? He said yes. Pharaoh put the ring on his finger. He said, here's my ring, here's my signet. He put the ring on his finger, and at that point Joseph became a prince and never became a king. He said, yes, I'll stay here. And just like the woman, from that point on, it's in a dress. She gets her dress ready. Joseph got his dress ready too. He put on the hair, he put on the makeup. He looked like an Egyptian. His brothers that were Israelites did not even recognize him. Why? Because he was no longer Israelite. When you hear about, I think there's one time when you hear about Joseph praying. Joseph spent his life praying before he went to prison. When you hear about Joseph, I think Joseph was upset at God. Because he felt like he kept ending up, I'm praying, and I keep ending up in these situations. When you hear about Joseph praying and crying out to God like he was before the butcher and the baker or the candlestick maker, whatever those things from Egypt came to him, when you hear about Joseph praying like that again? You hear Joseph doing a lot of talking, but no praying. I did a lot of talking, but no praying. Have I fallen? Yes. God just revealed this to me while I was doing this vlog. I've fallen, and I confess, both hands up. I want to see he who was both faithful and just. I cannot get up. I've fallen, and I cannot get up. And even if I could, I wouldn't try. I want to see God pick me up. I want to see what happens when God pick me up. I do it in the pool sometimes just to be funny. And Sandra and the co-class will laugh because they know if I'm doing that, come on. I'm in the back with all of them. So I'm doing what they're doing. Sandra's standing on the platform doing it in air. The dance is in air. People are standing the shallow and doing it, which means the water is like the water in your faucet. I'm standing in what would be a bucket of water, right? I'm still like I'm doing the exercises at Marshmallow. And you hear somebody...